Right, hello. Slightly unusual vid today. I'm on my own since this handheld thing. I've just parked up my motorcycle, not the McLaren, unfortunately. And I'm at Silverstone to drive a Bentley Continental GT Speed, which is the fast one, so 650 brake horsepower, even more PS, 670, 680, 900 newton meters of torque from 1500 revs to 5,000. I'll give you a walk around of the car in a moment, and then there'll be some driving impressions on track. But first of all, I want to show you some detail of the rear axle. So there's lots of different stuff in the GT Speed. Not just the power of it is new, but also there is some new tech. So for the first time ever in the Continental GT, it gets a limited slip differential, which is electronically controlled, and also what you get on the Flying Spur, but you don't get on any other Continental, is active rear steer. So it's calibrated differently to how it would be on the Flying Spur, which is meant to make it more luxurious but help it turn around in towns. This is calibrated differently. It acts on that suspension bar and that one over there to increase agility as much as anything else. So you'll know the Conti GT. It's a big front-engined two-door four-seater with air springs. Still has air springs, 3-chamber. Can you hear that? As well as adaptive damping. Anyway, that's the rear suspension. This one has, as you can see, these are rear discs, carbon ceramics. They're like 380 millimeters. On the front, we'll go to a car now, it has the biggest brake discs of any production car when you select the carbon ceramics. And they are 440 millimeters in there. They are enormous, with 10 piston calipers at the front. That is the largest on any production car, because this car still weighs 2,300 kilos. So as you look at it, what else do you get that marks it out to speed? Well, this grille is darker than usual, and as you move around to the side, it has a speed badge. Under here is a different sort of side skirt, and around the back this has the optional titanium Aquaprofitch exhaust, and then a diffuser underneath, as the standard one does not. Now this car has got a green sticker on it, which means it's been sanitized, but I am going to risk opening the door from here just to show you inside. It has a speed sill plate, speed badging on the opposite side of the dash. Over there, speedy head restraints and Alcantara trim with sort of two-tone finish. So, but really what marks the Speed out from the other Continental GTs, as we'll find out on track in a moment, is they tell me the calibration of all of this stuff together. It is all of this calibration of the ESC system, the limited slip differential, the rear steer. That is the sort of stuff that makes this car, they say, the most dynamic Bentley ever made. So let's go and find out. Okay, so welcome to the inside of the GT Speed. I have a colleague from Bentley sitting alongside me who'll tell me what I'm doing wrong, of which there'll be a lot. So I'm going to do 3 sort of fast laps around the full Silverstone circuit, which is a great track, actually. I enjoy it a lot. One with ESC on, one with it in the one push sport mode, and then one with everything off. Can't tell you what the road ride is like. That would be interesting to see how much firmer, if at all, it is. I can tell you it's very quick already, and I'm just on a sighting lap. What's interesting is that predominantly this is effectively a rear-wheel drive car. In normal driving, almost 100% of power goes to the back, and in this sport mode of the different drive modes, no more than anything like 30% would ever go to the front. So also worth noting, as Bentley will say, this is not a track car per se, still a very big Grand Tourer. But I just want to give us the chance to see what it can do when you do get nearer the limits of this car's capabilities. Of course, so it does have an enormous amount of grip. You can feel it roll a little and move around a bit. It's got a 48-volt roll compensation system. Otherwise it would roll even more. Just then, actually, just even on the way out of that first corner of pushing on a bit, you can just feel as you get back on the power, that E-diff starts to rotate the car. Steering's linear, very precise, very accurate. Builds some feel. I'm not revving out the engine yet, I'll try it in a bit. It doesn't feel like you need to. Peak torque comes in at 1500 revs. Stays around till 5,000, I think, so it's got a real broad power band. You really can feel it just start to adjust that chassis. I'll just let it change up on its own then. So it revs to 6.5-ish. Right, with this on, you just start to feel it grab just on that corner. For a car of this size and weight, it really does hang on extremely gamely. As I say, not a GT2 RS rival or anything, but very, very capable. You can control it by the paddles yourself, but honestly, when it just gets up near the top and shifts it by itself, it's almost the sort of thing you can forget. It's got really nice balance even with the ESC full on. We're going to get ESC popped into sport, thank you. You might be able to hear in the background just some pickup and marbles being kicked off the tyres. There was a BARC event over this weekend. Oh, that straightened really nicely. Included some Thunder Saloons, which I think is still available on the BARC YouTube channel, which I recommend to you. Yeah, just straight away in that slightly lower speed right-hander on the way into that complex. Just as you get back on the power, you can feel it straighten really, really nicely. Very sort of early hint of stabilising understeer if you want, but as you get back on the power, it really just eases through it. It's a slightly frightening bend, stow. How F1 drivers turn into it flat, I have no idea. You really can chuck it in and sort of sort out a bit. You would not believe this car weighs as much as it does. Just allows a little slip, and then as soon as it gets just past straight ahead, it seems to basically put the damper on things. Somebody else is letting us past, very kind. Brake feels really good, and is standing up to everything really well. And now, what is A, unusual, and B, very trusting in this sort of experience, is that somebody sitting next to me is prepared to switch ESC all the way off. Okay, so with an extended push, we're now with ESC off. Just back it into this corner here, and then the one that leads onto the old start-finish straight. Just give it a little play, get back on the power. Yeah, just really feel it start to move around. Still got that sort of security of the four-wheel drive, so it's not just pushing straight into a drift like a pure rear drive car would. What's it like in with fast corner then, with everything off? Oh, really nice. Just a really nice balance to it. Wants to straighten itself as the torque pushes itself around. You just feel it moving around more even under braking. It just lets itself move. Yeah, what a remarkable thing. I think we'll drive this car again later in the year, put it through some more tests then. These brakes are still remarkable. But until then, I really like what this car can do. So thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We're at autocar.co.uk. There's a digital subscription edition too. Join us on all the social channels. I'm at Autocar Matt on Instagram, Matty_Pryor on Twitter. See you next time.